Hello, welcome back to Kim Reads. I want to read you the My Little Pony Around Equestria stories. There's 7 books in here. The first one is called My Little Pony, Welcome to Equestria. Hey, Spike, Twilight Sparkle calls out as her favorite baby dragon and her #1 assistant runs into the library. Hey, Twilight, he replies, you got a letter from Shining Armor and Princess Cadence. What does it say? Twilight asks excitedly. Dear Twilight Sparkle, as the new rulers of the Crystal Empire, we have received many warm invitations to visit towns throughout Equestria, including Ponyville. We are delighted to come visit you and your friends, and we look forward to seeing your new home. Until then, we promise to send postcards from our journey. See you soon. Love always, Shining Armor and Princess Cadence. Did you hear that, Spike? Twilight cries out. My brother and Princess Cadence are coming. I can't wait to tell every pony. From a tall tower in the Crystal Castle, Shining Armor and Princess Cadence see clear across their glittering kingdom. I will miss our home while we are away, Princess Cadence says, but I am excited for our trip. Me too, Shining Armor replies. We better get going. That's true. I don't want to forget this gift for Twilight, the princess says, slipping a package in her satchel. The couple spends the rest of the morning saying farewell to all the crystal ponies in their kingdom. Finally, it's time to board their flying carriage and take off. After a short while, the newlyweds arrive at their first destination, Canterlot. The majestic city where they grew up was also the setting of their beautiful wedding. They are delighted to visit Princess Celestia and Princess Luna at Canterlot Castle and enjoy some time in the city together. Dear Twilight, we arrived in Canterlot today after a lovely send-off in the Crystal Empire. It was wonderful to enjoy Canterlot knowing it was now safe from that evil Queen Chrysalis. We went to the Derby to watch the races and was spent the night with Princess Luna. She took us to the observatory in your old library where we watched her raise the moon. Then we went into the town to see some shops. Candace remembered how much your friend Rarity loves fashion, so she picked up a little something special for her. Our next stop is Cloudsdale. We'll ride again soon. Much love, Shining Armor and Princess Cadence. Look, the Wonderbolts are performing a brand new routine to welcome us, Shining Armor points out as they touch down in Cloudsdale. They must have practiced for weeks. Candace says, while we're here, we must visit the hard-working Pegasi, who make all of Equestria's weather in the weather factory. Let's remember to thank them for bringing sunshine to the Crystal Fair every year. I think this will be a short visit. Shining Armor murmurs to himself that he wonders how to get from cloud to cloud without wings. Now I remember why the city is home to only Pegasus ponies, he laughs. Dear Twilight Sparkle, today we arrived in Cloudsdale just in time to judge the best young flyer competition. Being here reminds me of the time when your friend Rainbow Dash won the grand prize by performing a sonic rainbow. It must have been thrilling. I found out something that made me think of her while and will bring it to us to Ponyville. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Always, Princess Cadence, and your loving brother. Our next stop is Appaloosa, Shining Armor tells Cadence, looking down at the map. Yes, Applejack told me about the Appaloosas at our wedding, Cadence remembers. It is a small town known for delicious apple orchards. It took the ponies here a year to build it. That's impressive, says Shining Armor. Doesn't Applejack's cousin Brayburn live here? Candace nods. When the couple arrive, the town of Appaloosa is decorated in their honor, and Brayburn shows them around. Dearest Twilight, the orchards of Appaloosa are in full bloom, and Brayburn has been an incredibly gracious host. He says to tell you that the ponies and buffaloes are still getting along well. He saw the tree that Applejack planted when you and your friends came to visit. We'll bring her a little something from one apple orchard to another. It's time for us to get going now. More later, your loving brother, Shining Armor. We have a very busy schedule in Manhattan, Princess Cadence tells her beloved as they fly over the skyline toward their next stop. We've been invited to a gala every night. This really is the most cosmopolitan city in all of Equestria. The Manhattaner will have reporters following us everywhere. Shining Armor isn't as interested in the parties. Let's ride the underground Pony Express train. It's called the Mainway, he says. Dear Twilight, Manhattan is a very impressive city. The buildings are tall as the sky, and the society is very sophisticated. But all the ponies here rush around like they're in a hurry. It's a bit fast-paced for us. We tried some of the most delicious pastries we have ever tasted and knew at once we must bring a treat for Pinkie Pie, who is so fond of sweets. We are now only a few stops away from Ponyville. Love, Princess Cadence. The next days are a whirlwind of adventure. They visit the town of Dodge Junction, the city of Philadelphia, Las Pegasus, and each town. In each town, the newlyweds and new leaders of the Crystal Empire are welcomed with open arms and a lovely party. At last, it's time to go to Ponyville, but flying over the forest, they start to tire. Candace decides they need to rest, so they land right near a small hut, where a zebra named Zecora lives. Zecora tells them all about the secrets of the forest and points out several interesting creatures to be careful of, such as the timber wolves, sea serpents, and parasprites, all of which called the Everfree forest home. Dear Twilight, we made a surprise stop in the Everfree forest and had the most interesting day. Did you know the forest doesn't work like the rest of the land? The plants and animals in the forest all fend for themselves. Cloudsdale can even move without the Pegasus pony's help. We met someone who asked us to bring a special package to Fluttershy. Anyway, we enjoyed our detour very much, but we will arrive in Ponyville tomorrow. Love, Shining Armor. The very next day, Twilight and the mayor of Ponyville are all waiting for them town square. Welcome, Your Majesties, says the mayor. I'm so happy you're here. Twilight cries to all of them. Hi, Twilight, Shining Armor says, giving his sister a hug. It's good to see you, Candace says with a swish of her tail. Are you ready to tour Ponyville? Twilight asks, already leading the way. This is the town square and Pony Park and the day spa, and here's the marketplace where many ponies sell their goods. And this is the Golden Oak Library. This is where Spike and I live. Come inside. Would you like to see where my friends live? Twilight asks them. We would love to, Cadence replies, and we can give the gifts we picked up for them along our journey. But there we go. This is for you, Twilight, something from our home, so that you will always have a place for us with you. Thank you, Twilight shouts with glee. She unwraps a photograph of her brother and brand new sister-in-law in a hoof-made frame. I love it. They set out to see other ponies. This is where Rainbow Dash lives. She controls our weather with the help of her fellow Pegasi. Twilight explains to the first house, which they had to get a lift to. Shining Armor gives Rainbow Dash her gift, a pair of official Wonderbolts like flying goggles. Thanks, this is awesome, Rainbow Dash yells, putting on the goggles. This is Sugar Cube Corner, where Pinkie Pie lives, downstairs in the bakery where she works, Twilight says next. And this is the most dedicated cupcake you'll ever taste, Princess Cadence says to Pinkie. We had one in Manhattan and thought of you. Oh, thank you, I can't wait to eat it, Pinkie Pie replies, jumping up and down. She sneaks a lick of frosting. This is Rarity's dress shop, the Carousel Boutique, Twilight says, stopping in the store. Hello, Rarity greets him. What an honor to have you in my shop. I thought you could use some of these fine new silks that just arrived in the fabric shop in Canterlot, when we were there. And Princess handing them to Rarity. Oh, thank you, Princess. I'm going to design some fabulous new couture with these rarity coups. Maybe I'll wear one to the royal ball someday. Here's Fluttershy's cottage, Twilight tells them. It's nice to see you again. Fluttershy greets them. Shining Armor hands Fluttershy a small bottle. On our journey, we visited the Everfree forest and met your friend Sakura. She said this bottle of medicine would help your animals if they ever got sick. Oh, that's very kind of you, Fluttershy whispers. And this is Sweet Apple Acres. It's owned by Applejack and her family, Twilight says, leading Cadence and Shining Armor through the gate of a pretty farm. Welcome to Sweet Apple Acres, Applejack calls as she gallops up to them. Thank you, Shining Armor replies. Your cousin was a wonderful tour guide in Appaloosa. We brought you a little something from an old friend. An apple from your tree, Bloomberg. Well, that's mighty nice of you, Bo. Applejack cheers. What a pretty town, Twilight, Candace remarks. No wonder you love it here. Ponyville is great, Twilight agrees, but the reason I love it so much is because this is where I have so many friends. After all, isn't that what really makes you a home? We're much wiser than your little fool, Candace replies. I'm very proud of you. She gives Twilight a big hug. Dear Twilight, we finally made it home in the Crystal Empire. While we're happy to be back, we miss traveling already. You had a wonderful time in Ponyville with you and your friends. Perhaps next time you travel across Equestria, you come with us. Until then, we look forward to having you and your friends as our guests here in the Crystal Empire, so please visit us soon. With love, Princess Cadence and Shining Armor. And that's the end of that story. See you later.